Welcome to today's deep dive into a revelation that will change how you view every struggle you've ever faced. Have you ever felt like you were being pushed to your absolute limit, left wondering why a higher power would allow so much weight on your shoulders? Today we are uncovering the divine truth behind your journey, the specific qualities and shifts in your spirit that God was waiting to see before opening the gates to your true calling. You are here because you are a chosen one, and your path has never been accidental. In this video, we are breaking down the 10 pivotal milestones of your spiritual evolution. By the end of this session, you will gain a profound understanding of your purpose, the reasons behind your isolation, and the signs that your season of waiting is finally over. Prepare your heart and mind, because what you are about to learn will align you with the destiny you were born to fulfill. Welcome to the breakthrough you've been praying for. The silence you have been experiencing is not a sign of abandonment, but a divine strategy to test your inner resolve. When the external noise fades away, it forces you to look inward and listen to the whisper of your own spirit. This period of quiet is designed to reveal whether you can maintain your faith when there are no immediate signs of progress or external validation. During this season, your reliance on human opinion is being systematically removed so that your foundation becomes rooted solely in divine truth. God is watching to see if you will continue to move forward based on the last word you received, even when the heavens seem shut. It is a period of spiritual maturation where you learn that silence is actually a form of deep preparation for the noise of success. This quietness acts as a filter, removing the distractions that would otherwise hinder your focus when the time for action arrives. It is in the void of silence that your true character is forged, proving that you can remain disciplined without constant applause. By embracing this stillness, you demonstrate that you are ready to handle the weight of your calling with a calm and steady heart. True growth often happens in the dark, much like a seed beneath the soil that appears to be doing nothing while it is actually building its root system. The silence is the ground in which your spiritual roots are deepening to support the massive growth that is coming. If you can stay faithful in the silence, you prove that you are not just a seeker of blessings, but a seeker of the source itself. Ultimately, the silence is the final exam before the manifestation of your breakthrough. It is the moment where your patience is perfected and your trust is solidified beyond any doubt. Once you have mastered the art of being still and knowing that your path is secure, the silence will break, and the doors you have been knocking on will finally swing wide open. Integrity is truly measured by what you do when you are certain that no one is watching your actions. It is the hidden alignment between your public persona and your private reality that determines your readiness for higher levels of influence. God was waiting to see if your character would remain consistent even when there was no immediate reward or recognition for doing the right thing. The way you handle small, unseen responsibilities reveals the true architecture of your soul and whether you can be trusted with greater power. Many people can perform when the lights are on, but a chosen one maintains their standards in the shadows of everyday life. This test of integrity is about ensuring that your internal structure is strong enough to support the external success you are destined to achieve. When you chose to stay honest in situations where cutting corners would have been easier, you passed a critical spiritual threshold. These moments of private victory are recorded in the spiritual realm as evidence of your maturity and reliability. By choosing the difficult right over the easy wrong, you signaled that your values are not for sale and that your spirit is unshakable. This period of testing was designed to purge any lingering hypocrisy or double-mindedness that could cause you to fail under the pressure of your future calling. Integrity is the shield that protects your purpose from being undermined by your own flaws or temptations. Demonstrating this consistency proves that you are a vessel that can carry the weight of a divine mission without cracking. By upholding your integrity in the secret places of your life, you have earned a level of spiritual authority that cannot be taken away. You have shown that your word is your bond and that your heart is directed by principle rather than convenience. Now that your private life matches your public calling, you have cleared the path for the blessings and responsibilities that require a person of true, tested character. The moment you stop seeking validation from others is the moment you reclaim your true power. For a long time, you may have measured your worth through the eyes of people who were never meant to understand your journey. By letting go of the need for external applause, you show that you are no longer a slave to the opinions of man, but a servant of a higher purpose. This shift allows you to move with a confidence that isn't shaken by criticism or neglect. Surrendering the ego means stripping away the false layers of who you thought you had to be to fit in. It is an act of spiritual bravery to stand in your truth even when it makes others uncomfortable. When you stop performing for the world, you create space for your authentic self to emerge, which is the only version of you that can fulfill your divine mission. This internal quietness is what allows you to hear the guidance meant only for your ears. Choosing to be misunderstood rather than compromising your values is a major milestone in your spiritual evolution. It demonstrates that your ego has been tamed and that you no longer require the spotlight to feel significant. This humility is not about weakness. It is about having such a strong internal foundation that external storms cannot move you. You are now being led by conviction rather than the desperate desire to be liked or included. This process often involves a period of isolation where your old social structures fall away. While it may feel lonely, it is actually a protective measure to ensure your vision isn't clouded by the limited perspectives of others. By accepting this solitude, you prove that you are ready to lead rather than follow the crowd. You have traded the temporary high of human approval for the eternal satisfaction of divine alignment. Once the ego is surrendered, you become a clear vessel for your higher calling to flow through. You are no longer worried about who gets the credit or how you appear to the masses. Your only focus is the work you were sent here to do. This total detachment from the world's expectations is the final sign that you are ready to handle the immense responsibility that comes with being a chosen one. The challenges you have faced were never meant to destroy you, but to serve as a refining fire for your spirit. Every difficult circumstance was a training ground designed to test the strength of your faith. When logic suggested you should give up, by remaining steadfast in the heat of the struggle, you have developed a resilience that cannot be taught through comfort. This fire has burned away the impurities of doubt and fear, leaving only a hardened, unbreakable trust. Your greatest trials were strategically placed to prepare you for the magnitude of your upcoming breakthrough. Just as gold is purified through heat, your soul required these high-pressure moments to reveal its true value. You had to learn how to maintain your peace in the middle of a storm so that you wouldn't be overwhelmed when you reach the peak of your influence. The intensity of your past pain is a direct reflection of the power of your future. Faith is not truly tested until it is the only thing you have left to lean on. In those moments when everything seemed to be falling apart, your decision to keep believing was a powerful spiritual declaration. You showed that your connection to the divine is not based on circumstances but on an unwavering knowing. This level of spiritual maturity is what separates those who are merely called from those who are truly chosen. The scars you carry from these fires are not marks of shame but badges of honor that prove you have survived what would have broken most. Each trial taught you a specific lesson in patience, endurance, or wisdom that you will need in the next chapter of your life. Without the fire, you would have lacked the depth and the grit required to sustain the heavy blessings that are now manifesting for you. You are now emerging from the flames as a completely transformed being, equipped with a strength that is both quiet and formidable. The world sees the victory, but only you and the divine know the cost of the preparation you endured, because you did not fold under the weight of the fire. You have proven that you are ready to walk into your destiny with a spirit that is unshakable and a faith that is absolute. Reaching the threshold of forgiveness is perhaps the most difficult stage of your journey, because it requires you to release those who never apologized. This test was designed to see if you could prioritize your own spiritual freedom over the desire for revenge or justice. By letting go of the bitterness, you prove that your heart is no longer a prisoner to the actions of others. You have realized that holding on to resentment only ties you to the very people who tried to stop you. When you forgive those who intentionally caused you pain, you demonstrate a level of spiritual maturity that is rare in this world. This act of grace shows that you have transcended the cycle of hurt and are ready to carry a higher vibration. It is a sign that you trust the divine to handle the scales of justice while you focus on your growth. This release is the final key to unlocking the doors that your past pain had kept tightly shut. The people who tried to break you were actually instruments used to test the capacity of your heart. If you could find it within yourself to wish them peace while walking away, you have passed the ultimate test of character. This doesn't mean you accept their behavior, but it means you refuse to let their darkness dim your light. By clearing this emotional wreckage, you ensure that you don't bring old wounds into your new season of abundance. Forgiveness is the bridge between your past identity and your future destiny. Without it, you would forever be anchored to the trauma that once defined you. By crossing this bridge, you signal to the universe that you are ready for a clean slate and a fresh start. You are choosing to be defined by your purpose rather than your scars, and that decision is what makes you truly powerful. Now that you have released the weight of the people who tried to break you, your spirit is light enough to soar to new heights. You have reclaimed the energy you used to spend on anger and redirected it toward your mission. Your ability to forgive has turned your greatest betrayals into your greatest lessons in strength. You are now free to walk into your calling with a heart that is open and ready for the blessings ahead. True mastery begins with how you handle the smallest details of your life when no one is watching. Before you are entrusted with a global platform or great wealth, you must prove that you can steward the little you currently possess with excellence. This period of being under-resourced was actually a test to see if you would treat a small task with the same respect as a massive opportunity. It is the faithfulness in the mundane that builds the muscle for the extraordinary. Stewardship is about more than just money. It is about how you manage your time, your health, and your current relationships. If you can maintain a spirit of gratitude while living in a small space or working a job that feels beneath your potential, you are showing that your ego is in check. You are proving that you are a reliable manager of resources who won't be corrupted by sudden gain. This stage is where you demonstrate that your foundation is solid enough to hold a massive structure. Every small responsibility you have right now is a seed that contains the blueprint for your future success. By tending to these seeds with care and diligence, you are proving that you understand the law of growth. The divine was waiting to see if you would complain about what you lack or maximize what you have. Those who are careless with the small will eventually lose it, but those who are diligent will find themselves being handed the keys to much larger kingdoms. This phase of your life has been a training ground for discipline and organizational skill. You have learned how to make much out of little, which is a vital skill for anyone destined for greatness. By organizing your current life as if you already have everything you've prayed for, you create a vacuum that the universe must fill with more. Your preparation in the small things is a silent prayer that says you are ready for the much. By passing the stewardship test, you have removed the final barrier to your expansion. You have shown that you are not just a consumer of blessings, but a wise guardian of them. Because you have proven your reliability in the shadows, you are now being called into the light to manage resources that will impact countless lives. Your season of little is officially over because you have successfully demonstrated that you are ready for much. Radical obedience requires you to move even when the path ahead is completely shrouded in mystery. It is the act of taking a step simply because you felt a divine nudge, despite the world around you screaming that it makes no sense. This level of trust shows that you have tuned your ears to a higher frequency and are willing to prioritize spiritual direction over earthly logic. By moving without a full map, you prove that your faith is grounded in the source of the instruction rather than the comfort of the destination. The world will often tell you to stay still, to play it safe, and to wait for a more logical moment to act. However, a chosen one understands that divine timing rarely aligns with human convenience. When you chose to leave that situation, start that project, or speak that truth against the grain, you signaled that you are ready to be a vessel for the extraordinary. This courage to be seen as a fool by the masses is exactly what prepares you to be a leader for the few who are destined to follow. Obedience is the ultimate test of surrender because it often demands that you give up what you currently have for something you cannot yet see. It is easy to follow directions when the outcome is guaranteed, but radical obedience happens in the gap between the command and the manifestation. By closing that gap with action, you demonstrate that your commitment to your purpose is stronger than your fear of failure. This boldness creates a shift in the spiritual atmosphere that forces doors to open in the physical realm. During this stage, you may have faced significant pressure from family, friends, or society to conform to traditional expectations. Standing your ground during these moments was not about being rebellious, but about being faithful to the mission encoded in your DNA. Your refusal to settle for a mediocre path proved that you are capable of carrying the heavy weight of a unique calling. You have shown that you cannot be bribed by comfort or intimidated by the unknown. Now that you have mastered the art of listening and moving with precision, your momentum will become unstoppable. Radical obedience has stripped away the hesitation that keeps most people stuck in a cycle of what if. Because you were willing to move when it was difficult, you have earned the right to arrive where it is beautiful. Your willingness to follow the invisible has finally made your success visible to everyone who once doubted your direction. The death of the old self is a painful but necessary metamorphosis that every chosen one must endure. It is the process of intentionally shedding the skin of your past identity, including the habits, mindsets, and even the people that no longer serve your higher purpose. This transition often feels like a period of mourning because you are saying goodbye to the version of yourself that helped you survive in order to meet the version that will help you thrive. You cannot carry the baggage of who you were into the palace of who you are becoming. As this old version of you fades, you might feel a sense of emptiness or confusion about where you fit in the world. This void is not a sign of loss, but a sacred space being cleared for a new, upgraded operating system of the soul. God was waiting to see if you would try to cling to your old comforts or if you would trust the process of renewal. By letting the old self die, you have proven that you are willing to be completely rebuilt from the ground up. The traits that once defined you, perhaps your need for control, your past traumas, or your limiting beliefs, are being systematically dismantled. This internal house cleaning is essential because the new levels of power you are about to step into would crush your old character. You are being refined into a more resilient, wiser, and more focused individual who is no longer triggered by the same things that used to derail you. You are moving from a state of reacting to the world to a state of creating within it. Many people fail this stage because the heat of transformation becomes too intense, and they run back to the safety of their old, smaller lives. By staying in the fire, you have demonstrated a rare form of spiritual endurance. You have accepted that the price of your destiny is the person you used to be. This total ego death ensures that when you finally reach your peak, There is no part of your old shadow left to sabotage your new light. You are now standing on the threshold of a new existence, possessing a clarity that was previously impossible to achieve. The you that people once knew is gone, replaced by a version that is more aligned with divine intent. This new identity is not based on external titles or past achievements, but on an internal state of being that is unshakable. You have successfully navigated the transition, and you are now ready to be introduced to the world as the person you were always meant to be. As we conclude this journey together, remember that your current transformation is the answer to the prayers you whispered in the dark. Every test of silence, every fire of trial, and every moment of isolation was a divine investment into the person you are becoming today. You have proven your character, your integrity, and your faith, and now the universe is aligning to match the strength of your spirit. You are no longer waiting for your moment. Your moment has been waiting for you to be ready. I want to hear from you now. Which of these 10 signs resonated most with your current season? What have you realized about your journey through this revelation? To show that you've made it to the end and to help this message reach more chosen ones who need to hear this truth, please type the word manifest in the comments below. By doing this, you are not only supporting the channel but also claiming your readiness to step into your higher calling. Always remember, you were not chosen because you were perfect. You were chosen because you were willing to be refined. Go forth with confidence, knowing that your season of preparation is turning into your season of power. See you in the next one. Powered by Gemini Exporter. Tifsadud Exporter.com